What do you think humanity's future is?
Well, that's a broad statement.
Yeah.
Like, are you asking me this because of like Cyberpunk 2077 and like that's about like a futuristic society, or no? It has nothing to do with
nothing to
anything.
do with
I think we're all fucked. I think eventually humanity will be extinct and everything we ever did will all be for basically nothing. And that's just where I stand on life. Because that's, as I know it's weird, and I know we joke about it a lot, but no, like that sounds very nihilistic, but that's kind of what I believe.
See, you've always weirded me out.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you've always been like a weird, like hopeful nihilist.
I believe it's optimistic nihilist, and I think I'm one of those. I think that's where I'm at, because I feel like I try to look for like the good in things, and I generally have like a happy-go-lucky kind of vibe when I'm with people. But
you're also like a stern believer that nothing truly matters.
Yes, very, very much so. I believe nothing matters, and that we all die and nothing happens, and this is all for nothing. Yeah.
See, I don't know. I feel like I kind of relate to that because I feel like nothing matters. I do believe nothing matters, but it doesn't mean we can't try to like make ourselves happy while we're still here. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. That's how I feel. Like, I don't know, with your question, I mean, I feel like the biggest threat to like humanity as a whole right now is probably global warming. Like, global climate change will probably make it harder for future generations to live comfortably. If that makes sense. Like, I don't really know what that means, but I feel like that's a thing. We might see big changes during our lifetime because of global warming if we can't stop global emissions or whatever. But I don't know what that kind of future would look like. Does that mean we'd have like a Mad Maxian kind of future? Does that mean we'll all slowly adapt to whatever climate change looks like in the future? You know what I mean? Because humans tend to adapt to things pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Does everyone freak out when like humans start dying? Does it look like Interstellar and then people try to search out into space and they give up on Earth? Because I don't feel like that would ever happen. I feel like we're fucked here. Because just the amount of resources and manpower that it would take to get us as a species off of this planet, get the fuck out of here. People can't agree on simple like bullshit in Congress as it is, let alone trying to find the finances and resources to find a different habitable planet or terraform a planet and make it habitable for us. That's just so incomprehensible that I can't see it realistically.
See, I completely believe the opposite.
Really? And that's really weird, because I feel like out of the two of us, I'm more of an idealist and you're more of a realist, and I feel like that's probably the most like realist statement I've ever made. Yeah. Like in general about anything.
Oh, no. Do I think humanity's doomed? Yes, absolutely. But I think we'll make an attempt at like interstellar colonization first before that. I think like something will happen on one of those colonies or on the ships that will just completely wipe out that population, and everybody on Earth's fucked, and then we're all gone. But I think we'll make it there. And my reasoning behind that is America went to the moon, like, back during the Cold War, as like a fucking dick swinging contest.
It's true.
Like we did that just to like one up the USSR. And I feel like if humanity's back is pushed against the wall, and like it's either we do this or we're gonna fucking die. Like, this is no doubt, there's no debate, we're gonna fucking die. And this is like the only hope anybody has of like making it work. One, I think like the wealthy people would definitely like, finance that and source it out if they, get a spot on the ship. Two, I think people would have a lot easier of a time coming together and, making a colony ship or making whatever we're going to use to kind of get off the planet. And I think we're already heading in that direction anyway, honestly. Like with the reusable rockets, boosters from Elon Musk, and big leaps and bounds made on colonizing Mars.
Yeah, but those leaps and bounds are so like nowhere near where we would need to be.
Yes, but we went from like barely having jet planes to going to the fucking moon in like 40 years. And that was because, you know, there was a big push to, like I said, to, you know, one up the USSR, the arms race, all this jazz. I think right now the very, you know, largest or small, however you want to say, leaps and bounds, you know, progress we made in like interstellar travel and colonization is because there's no big push for it right now. I feel like if you dumped all the resources of at least America, of like all technological powerhouses out there, and get that shit done pretty quick. I feel like if that was a one unified goal, like they can start like progressing on this issue like super quick, relatively speaking.
That's putting a lot of faith in humanity, and people seem so split on fucking trivial things now. As it is, we are in the midst of a global pandemic right now, and people are arguing over the politics of whether or not we should just fucking wear a mask in public, and people are dying by the fucking numbers, record-setting numbers each and every day. Like, fucking weeks ago is when the day happened where more people died in one day in America than in 9/11, and it's been more and more people each and every day since then. And to think that people wouldn't argue over stupid trivial matters, let alone a huge matter that we all depend on it. I mean, how much time do we have now as a society where the effects of global warming are irreversible, and yet people still think that climate change is a hoax? You know what I mean?
No, I completely see your point. Like, I totally see your point, and I think there's always going to be people who will just not see facts.
Mm-hmm.
And even if there is, like, the world is coming to an end, like, there's a fucking meteor about to crash in, like, 2 days, or, you know, 2 years, whatever, people will be like, nah, that shit's fake.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the ones who truly matter, like, who can make, like, choices and have decisions and get things done, will be the ones who kind of push that through.
The thing about global warming is that it's so nebulous. Like, what does that even really look like?
Yeah.
That we can't even fathom it. Well, when the effects, like, do start to kick in, we're going to be like, ah, fuck. Yeah, we should probably do something about that.
Yeah.
Like, probably several years ago, but we have no choice but to start working on a solution now.
Yeah.
And who knows how long that will take.
Going back to what you said, like, I'm not so naive to think, like, everybody's going to come together and immediately be like, no, let's build this, like, arc or whatever, fucking get everybody. No, hell no. There will be a lot of fighting. There will be a lot of conflict, a lot of bloodshed. I have no doubt about that. I feel like it'd be like a whole nother arms race, but see who can get the fuck off, like, the boat first.
That'd be a scary time to live in.
Yeah, it would.
Everyone will be fighting for their lives. Yeah.
A part of me would fucking want to be there, though.
That'd be the end of the world, Ivan.
Yeah.
I think it's also important to put shit into perspective. Like, the fact that we are here at all is a fucking miracle. The fact that, like, a solar storm doesn't blow shit up, the fact that our sun just doesn't explode or we don't get hit by a meteorite. There are so many cosmological things that are going on that are even beyond our comprehension, that are happening all the time, that the fact that life on this one little measly planet is able to exist at all, like, we take that for granted. So being able to take all of that and go somewhere else where there might not even be somewhere else to go, that's incomprehensibly, like, hard to think about. You know, I like watching Cosmos as much as the next guy, but, like, how is that realistic? If we get everyone on a huge spaceship, will we have a destination to go to?
See, I feel like there would be. I feel like it's just so vast that there has to be another, like, habitable or livable planet. You know, there has to be another planet in the Goldilocks zone that we can, you know, colonize or live on, or something we can at least work with to terraform. Can we reach that? I don't know.
Will we be able to get there? That's the huge question.
I truly feel in, like, a scenario like this, we'd at least make the attempt. If that's just, like, you know, literally a bunch of fucking embryos, like, in cryogenic storage, flying through space with, like, 2 fucking people just hanging out for 100 years, that, you know, so be it. If it's, you know, an actual large colony ship where people are living and breathing every day, you know, whatever.
I'm not saying we wouldn't try. I'm just saying the ways for shit to go wrong at any stage of the development process of trying to save our asses. Anything can go wrong. I mean, even if it was 2 people and a bunch of embryos, you don't know anything's going to go wrong with those people. You don't know if something goes wrong with it. It couldn't physically be 2 people because to fucking man a ship. You know what I mean? Like, it's so complicated. It's so intricate. It's easy to take for granted just the amount of shit that would go into a number of plans for trying to save our asses in any given scenario, not just, like, interstellar space travel. It's so overly complicated. That's why I wanted to bring up the idea that life is so rare that I think it is unique. And I think there is, I'm going to be quoting Vision from the MCU, there is a beauty to that, to know that even if things do end in humanity just goes extinct one day, and everything we ever did was for nothing, it doesn't mean we didn't deserve to live. It was a beautiful thing to experience whatever it is we got to experience, and all things come to an end, and that doesn't make a thing any less beautiful.
You know, while you were saying that, I was thinking in my head, like, I think the saddest thing about this whole, humanity ending scenario would be, we just go out. Just like silence and echoes. It's nobody ever in the universe will ever know that we were here, or what we did, what we accomplished, what we achieved as a race. And I also thought, like, what if hundreds of thousands of years somebody comes across like the ruins of cities across the world, and they're just like, man, these guys really fucked it up. I feel like that's probably what ended up happening.
Well, it depends, like, how long would a civilization take to get to us? Because, I mean,
motherfuckers could show up tomorrow.
That's true. My point being that if humanity one day is gone, it's just wiped off for whatever reason, how long before nature starts to take over? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before grass and greenery starts taking back root and buildings collapse, and then how long before there's like nothing left to prove that humans were ever here?
Yeah.
These are interesting questions.
There's like that old saying. I mean, I'm not sure if it's fucking old. I don't even know where it's from. It could be from a movie that's stupid or something. But there's a saying where it's you die twice. First when you like physically die, and then the second time when somebody speaks your name for the last time.
That's true.
And for some reason, just like the idea of humanity just being forgotten, it kind of bums me out a little bit, because like we are shitty as a like a race, as a species. Humanity's kind of shitty.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. But I still can't help but to feel a lot of pride in like everything we've achieved up to this point. There's been a lot of wars, a lot of bloodshed, but we've also done a lot of great things.
I agree. Like land on the moon. No one else can say they did that.
Yeah, that we know.
That is a good accomplishment. Like it's amazing to think that we did that at all. Like as you said, as basically like a dick swinging contest
in a relatively short amount of time. I mean, like fucking 70 years prior to that, motherfuckers took horses everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I was just thinking that, like, 100 years ago, if I wanted to send you a message, I'd have to go to, like, a fucking post office, write a note down, pay some guy to fucking tap his finger on a fucking telegram machine to send, like, fucking little dots and dashes over the fucking, like, wires to another fucking station and have some dude decode it and have you pick up the letter. Well, now I just pull my phone out and I'm like, you're a bitch.
And that is what most of your text messages consist of. And that's amazing. Like, we made that. How? I don't know. Innovation. One day, yeah, I think we'll all be gone. I mean, how many species of animals have gone extinct that we're currently unaware of?
Yeah.
Countless. Like, we have no fucking idea. We barely have a grasp of how many species exist currently. We can't even explore the full depths of the ocean.
I think recently I saw an article where they announced they discovered a new species of some sort of, like, I think, sea animal, or like some sort of, I think it was a monkey. And then they also announced that monkey is nearing extinction.
Fuck.
So it's like, we discover this new thing, shit's about to go, like, in 2 years.
Yeah, shit's sad. I mean, well, I think currently between, like, 70 to 90% of all species that lived on Earth has gone extinct. Like, we're living in a very small time frame, and think about everything that has ever existed throughout all of Earth's history. We all go out sometime. So I think humanity will go out. How is a totally different question.
Yeah.
Which is the point I wanted to make earlier, which is like, we can't grasp our own ending as a species. So I don't think we would be able to come together to come to a solution, because the amount of things that it would take to save the whole species is just far beyond our comprehension.
I still think we could. I do think that our really only, like, semi-decent shot would be to colonize space. And a part of me, I feel like what really gets down to the root of this question is kind of sad about that, because, we won't be there.
Nah.
I feel like our children will.
I hope not.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I feel like our children will get to colonize space.
Like our direct descendants.
Yeah, I feel like that's a generation that might have a chance at like getting out if people start getting more serious about it.
Yeah.
I guess what you're telling me is that
Is what? Humanity's all right? Get the fuck out of here.
space is alright.
Space is all right. I don't even know if this started as a space question. That's just kind of where we went. Because there's a lot of things that we covered that could make their own little subtopics.
Yeah.
Because there's, like I said earlier, the question you asked was so very broad. I don't even remember what you asked me. How do I think humanity's gonna end?
Or what do you think humanity's future is?
What do I think humanity's future is? I think our future is going to be. I mean, obviously, it's impossible to predict, but I think it won't be too dissimilar from how life is now. I think like life kind of gradually changes over time. It'll be not too different from where we are now, and then one day we'll just go kaput.
Yeah.
And a new species will be the dominant species, dolphin, monkey.
Unless the planet's all fucked up and nobody can live on there.
Well, so even if humanity goes extinct due to global climate change, whatever happens to humanity, Earth will go on. Just because like it'll be inhabitable for humans doesn't mean life won't find a way on Earth. I think life will continue on Earth long after humanity goes out.
That wasn't the fucking question.
Life doesn't stop with humanity, Ivan, and you know why?
Hmm.
Because life didn't start with humanity.
No,
I'm right.
because I'm directly talking about humanity.
I know you're talking about humanity, but life will go on. What is humanity's future? Life will go on past us.
What about humanity though?
We'll die.
You could have just said that.
Fuck them.
Stupid.
We're fucked.
Yeah, you're right. I take it back. We're fucked. There's no salvaging humanity. Humanity's aight.
I hate you.